Alright, I don't know if you can see this entirely well, but if I tilt it up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is called a record, children. And yes, I'm drunk. Um, this is what we used to listen to when the world was a much, much simpler place. This is a Columbia record, 4-39937. It's called a 45. I believe it's the rotations per second, I believe, or whatever. Um, this is a I Love Lucy theme song from I Love Lucy television program. H. Adamson, E. Daniel, Desi Arnaz, Ricky to you, and with Paul Western as his orchestra, accompanied by Norman Luboff. Now, enough history. Um, that's barely worth anything, by the way. Uh, right. Some random stuff I wanted to start off with. Anyway, the importance of this review, or rant, or ramblings, the babblings of an insane lunatic, or an inherent genius, is modern superheroes for a modern age. Now, they're constantly updating superheroes in comics to try to be PC. Yes. So, among being that, have you heard of Safe Space and Snowflake, by the way? You really had to. It's hilarious. Um, there have been a lot of adaptations from the comics and the superhero types or concepts, in television, cartoons, and movies. But we don't know about the movies, so we don't have to be here for that. The two focusing on, well, technically three, is the Tick series and The Boys. The Tick had a comic series, where his origins basically started out from some insane inmate who said, "I'm going to go to the city and become a superhero." That's basically about it. In the cartoon series, a Tick is just established as a superhero who decides to get uh, selected to go to the city. In the early 90s live action series, it's basically the same thing. He's at a bus stop and he gets a ticket to the city, or given a ticket to go to the city. In the 2018, 2019, 2017 version, he again just appears with Arthur. It's more of a tie-in with Arthur's backstory, which I think is rather interesting. But all these adaptations show it's a slight it's a different view of the superhero theme. It's looking at it through the lens of practicality. Is what it is. You see the absurdness of trying to actually be a superhero, like legitimately, like try to be realistic about it and see what you get. That's what we get. People who have problems and nothing really works out the way you would expect because problems would arise. And the Tick series is full of that. The animated series. You get people with egos and vendettas and pettiness, and not everybody really has that much amount of money to throw around. So you would think, well, they would have money because we see the other people who are not millionaires or billionaires being able to pull off stuff, but actually no, they're not. They're low grade budgeted themed superheroes because they got a narrow niche concept and thought they could run with it. Turns out they couldn't. So what they ended up doing is just doing the best they can with what they got, which is not very much. The live action TV series of the 90s, it shows basically the same thing, slightly different cast of characters. American Made was replaced with oh Lady Liberty, I think her name was, or Lady Justice, and Deflator Mouse was replaced by Bat Manuel. So that's kind of a silly thing, but anyway, that's what the Tick series shows, was this slight realistic usage or view of the superhero concept in a modern world, or at least the 90s at the time. And then the later Tick series does the same thing again, where you do have not necessarily media, but with the media surrounding Superion. He's the Superman ish character for that universe. He's on Twitter and Facebook and all that, and has a following, as opposed to everybody else who doesn't have a Twitter following or even a Twitter account. So, um, again, it gives a realistic view of how would that look like, how these characters react, what would Superion do when he's not liked anymore. And he gets a little grimdark, but as far as he went for the universe, because the universe is edgy, it's not dark or twisted. So the most violent that Superion gets when he doesn't like a uh, news reporter, news reporter, bashing him, was to leave him at a Mayan temple in the middle of the rainforest. That's as dark as it got before the second season ended. I guess we're not going to get a third. Sad, but yeah, it was still a good series. But the Tick, the series, the last one, it kind of went there, or it went with concepts of murder versus, where's the morality of it all? Like, if realistically, you're gonna lose that morality like quick, you know. Lots of characters, dealing with the life and death struggle of it all, are gonna lose their morality, and the Tick is there to like kind of bring them back into this thing. It's like, no, 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 it's okay to not kill everyone, which is what I like. But anyway, in the Boys, there is no Tick. So just imagine the Boys being the Tick series without the Tick. So you have so you have characters just losing their way left and right. Morality? What morality? We lost morality like 5 exits back. So yeah, it's edgy, it's grimdark, it goes there, but you enjoy it because it has likable characters and enough mystique, mystery. Like, okay, what do you mean by that? Where's this leading me? Story wise, mystery wise, character wise. So the Boys is a lot more realistic version of the superhero concept in a modern world. Modern superheroes in the modern world, and yeah, it is like it would be Hollywood. It would be glitz and glamour. To believe in the Americana, the we fight for truth and justice in the American way, but then behind the scenes they're all just a bunch of selfish jerks who had tragic backstories, and the morality, along with a lot of else, is just the glitz and glamour, the showcase. The fuck is that? Sorry, I'm getting ringing in my ears. I had too much booze earlier. Who knows? But that's the thing. You really do enjoy it. The ride, despite people basically being mystified. I do that term literally because one woman in the beginning gets turned into gory mist because the speedster called A Train runs right into her. Just runs right into her. The only thing left of her are her wrists and hands. Everything else is just turned into gooey spray. And that's what starts off this whole thing for one of our lead characters, because we gotta lead into it with the Everyman, like we did with the Tick, with Arthur. This leads in with this guy who, his girlfriend, or wife or whatever, gets killed, and he wants to find out why. And there's this other guy who had other problems with Homelander, much like Superion. He lost his way because he tried to be famous, and quite frankly, he's full of himself because he is the strongest one there. And he Yeah, it gets grimdark. Yeah, he goes grimdark. Superion never got the chance to go there. The series ended it before then. Well, he was stopped before then, just before at the ending. So, yeah, so this is like naturally where Superion was going. Was Superion was gonna, if given like another week, probably would have gone as dark as um, Homelander. So it's a good comparison to see like where this character was going to go. And it's like, and I would have seen that where the Tick versus Superion, that would have been awesome. But with no Tick in the boys' universe, I'm curious what they're going to do with Homelander, because Homelander has to go up against somebody who has a bit more of a moral conscience, if at all, if you're going to go that route. I'm just curious what the hell they're going to do with it. You know, with him and the entire cast. I mean, where is this series going to go? I mean, what obstacles? What's going to happen to them? So I'm very excited for season 2. I'm so glad I have that subscription. So, oh, and get your last looks in for the beard. This is gonna be gone come tomorrow morning. I'm gonna shave it off. I have a video on that too. And yeah, so I have tomorrow off. I have to get some burgers from where else and all that. And got my last. I already drank my beer, so this is my next bottle of tequila. And, yeah, gotta listen to those fireworks. And I just got this in the mail. The 1001 Arabian Nights. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Maybe you can see that. Okay. This is the 70s one. When you get that, because I like getting stuff from back then. Because apparently back then there was a lot less standards and practices like there are now. Like you have to go on a streaming platform, like Amazon Prime to just be more realistic as opposed to everything else. Where it's like, we'll talk realistic, but then like we won't really be realistic. It's like it's okay, be realistic. It's all right. We keep thinking how groundbreaking, everything since Avatar is. It's like Steven Universe was not really groundbreaking. Steven Universe was walked on eggshells, minded its P's and Q's, and barely did anything, and we still applauded it for it. Um, yeah, and again, if I make a bit of a tangent here, Netflix has this nasty habit of not necessarily burying their gays since Voltron, but they now bothered to just say, hey, and that's it. And it's like 2 series now with Kimbo and the one with the VR game. I forget what it's called, but the one with the VR game. 2 characters say, "Hi, I'm gay," and has no fucking bearing really on the plot. So why was the fucking point of that? Well, it's to show that we're not in the running. That's it. The characters are gay, so they're not in the running. That's it. That's your whole thing. They could still be straight and not be in the running. It's okay. But then it's just like, blah. It's like, come on. If it's going to bother to be mentioned, like Chekhov's gun, if it's going to bother to be mentioned, it's got to be part of the story, which they do kind of in Kimbo, where they say, oh, hi, I'm this guy. And it's like, hi, this guy. I kind of like you. Yeah, I kind of like you too. And I'm kind of awkward around you. I'm kind of awkward around you too. A little bit. And that's it. Doesn't turn into its own subplot. They don't get an episode dedicated to them. It doesn't give, sorry, let me repeat myself, or pause for dramatic effect, character development in any real shape, way, or form that any really fucking matters to the goddamn plot. It's just there. So, unlike in the VR one, nothing. Just, yeah, I'm gay, I'm not into her, so you can have her. So you're clearly in the running, and solely in the running for her affections. The end. Fuck. So yeah, if you're going to do that, have it mean something. Don't just pass it along like it's, like a throwaway line. It doesn't make any sense. Meet Bill. It's good stuff. It's a good movie. I like it. So, I highly recommend any of the Tick series, animated, live action, or live action, and The Boys. Live action. There we go. So, I hope this review helps, and I will do something tomorrow, hopefully something fun and entertaining. Hopefully. So until then, fair, faithful viewer, stay inside. Well, not necessarily stay inside. Just wash your hands. That's it. Just wash your hands. All we gotta do is just wash our hands, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Special place and sing. Another day goes by, listen to the children cry, but a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. And sing. Bye.